Shalom, blessings to you and yours. Welcome to the message of Yahoo, first of all. I have intended to have and or present and share with you some different reports. But today, my mind and spirit within me is so moved that I determined through the Spirit that this would be good subject matter for us to deal with today. Primarily, what we are discussing, in fact, my wife and I were just sitting here discussing it a short while ago, and that is how so many multiplied thousands and millions of people are being taken advantage of, abused and used, made merchandise of, simply because they don't know and or understand truth. Now, if we will take into consideration what the true Savior, Yahushua, has spoken, and the name part we'll deal with those in later reports. A lot of deception along those lines too. Nevertheless, we take a look at what the true Savior, Yahushua, spoke to us concerning these end times. Listen, this is one of them. This is what he said exclusively in what is considered by some to be the end time message, if you will. One of the first things he said to his disciples and those that would follow him, this is what he said: "See that you be not deceived." Listen once again. See that you be not deceived. Now, this is a tall order, especially when you have so many men and women who are placing themselves and are being placed in positions of so-called leadership, spiritual leaders, if you will, at that. And the masses not adhering to what the true Savior, Yahushua, has counseled us to do, they are become prey for the deceivers, if you will. Now then, again he said, see that you be not deceived. Well, Yahushua, how are we to avoid the deception? Now, being mindful, in another setting he said, I will send you another comforter, and he shall teach you all things whatsoever I have spoken unto you. Listen once again, he said, and he shall teach you all things whatsoever I have spoken unto you. And again, that's all we have to really go on. It's his counsel, see? And so for the most part, we're not hearing the message as Yahushua left with his disciples to proclaim and to teach. Now then, and the Comforter that he will send, teaching us all things, we look to him for that counsel. And he continues by saying that that Comforter that he shall send, he will be, he, not she, he shall be with you and in you. Now, what is the purpose of him being with us? That's for his counsel, for his teaching, for his companionship with us. And then he goes on to say, aside from him being with us, he shall also be in you. For what purpose? To lead us and to guide us. Now, let's go back and look at something that I cited a moment ago that he said. Or maybe I didn't, but here's another thing he said. For many false teachers shall arise. Now then, how are we to know who these false teachers are? My friends, simply put, the only way that we can know and have understanding and clarity is through the true Savior himself, Yahushua, being with us and in us. Now then, for many, so what do you mean, Yahushua, when you say many? When we examine that English word, it simply means the most or the majority. That being true, my friends, that simply means that most of what you're hearing on your radio, what you're seeing on your television, what you're reading in printed pages is all coming from, or the majority is coming from, false teachers. Now, you're saying that's judging. No, that's not judging. That's simply Yahushua exposing people for what they are. Now listen, the great tragedy, another great tragedy is that there is no salvation in religion. Not saying this to offend, but simply because it's true. And also in that truth, Yahushua is telling us, where he says, see that no one deceive you. He's telling us that there's only one. There's only one Savior. And this Savior is not the head of any religion. He's simply pointing us to the way, leading us in the way that we should go. And that is why he said, follow me. Listen, he's the good shepherd. And the good shepherd is making sure that we're covered, we're being protected, that we get the right information. And my friends, for the most part, we're getting all of the wrong information. Listen carefully, my friends. I would dare say anything to offend anyone, but if the truth bears record that what we're believing, and notice, I include myself, what we believe as far as the majority is concerned, what the majority believe and what we have once believed at one time, it was a serious wake-up call. And let me share this with you, my friends, while we're here. Now, in this wake-up call, it was psychologically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually traumatic, because we were believing that all we had heard and all that had been ever spoken to us, we believed that it was the truth. And so as a result of that, what we had to do is to recline and take a look at where we are and get an assessment of what we had been told and what we were hearing, and then do the one thing that we had not done while we were participating in religion. We became serious about salvation, and we began to study the book. Not only did we study the book, we also studied other books related to the book. And it's important to know what's in the book, my friends, but it's also important to know about the book. And once we allow the Spirit of truth to start dealing with our minds, then do we have understanding all the more. You see, we know and understand now with an understanding that surpasses understanding, because now we're under the tutelage of the great teacher himself. Whereas we had been relying on some mortal. And let me say this to you too, my friends. I would encourage you, if you haven't, don't join anybody's anything. I would encourage you, if you are in such an environment, not trying to dictate to you by no means, but take a moment and do as we did. Allow the Spirit of truth to intervene and recline, take an assessment, and allow the Spirit of truth to become the governor, the authority, if you will, the leader in your mind and spirit. You know what we mortals are like, my friends? I think about it sometimes, and as I have done in the recent past. I'm sure that in your area where you live, or perhaps you've seen it on the news, where a utility pole has been damaged. Maybe some vehicle ran into it and broke the utility pole, and the wires came falling down as a result. And in the wires falling to the ground, they became disconnected from the main artery and were fraying there on the ground in every direction. You understand? What's the problem? What's the issue? Well, now that there's been this severance, this broken line is wanting to reconnect so it can continue to do what it was doing in the first place. And that was providing power to homes and businesses. But now that it's been severed, those broken lines have become dangerous for anyone to touch. That's why the utility companies have technicians, and they've been trained and taught how to deal with runaway electrical current. So they're sent out. You know, there's an analogy with that, my friends, of course. And so now what we're seeing is the brokenness among mortals. We become disconnected from our Creator. And we en masse are trying to get back into that power surge so that we can continue being joyful and happy and delighted, resourceful even, loving and kind and gentle toward each other. It's what we're wanting to do. But the problem is, there are some technicians on the scene who have not had the training. They have not had the necessary education to cause us to be reconnected to our great Creator, Yahuwah. And so what do we have? We have mass confusion. Most people are just like those broken power lines. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They don't know who to believe. They don't know what to think. They have no idea, and for that reason, many people have severed their relationship with going to church and listening to preachers. And my friends, I would say to you that that was one of the best things that you could do. You know, being in these churches is similar to being out on the major thoroughfare in the wee hours of the morning, where there's considerable traffic, especially 18-wheelers, probably up at maximum speed. And you're out there on a 2-wheel or 3-wheel non-motorized bicycle at that time in the morning. There's only one, you can either get out of the way or get ran over and killed. And that's what religion is doing, my friends. It's killing a lot of people. It's killing a lot of innocent people, just as it happens on the interstate and major thoroughfares and lesser routes of travel. People are being destroyed unnecessarily. You see, and a lot of these preachers, my friends, they know that they are not telling you the truth. For the love of money is still the root of all evil. So again, my friends, I say to you, cry aloud, cry out, seek, and you shall find. Just search for him. He's waiting for all of us to cry out to him because, my friends, truth is we need him. We're nothing without him. In fact, the true Savior Yahushua declared, without me, you can do nothing. Absolutely, positively nothing. Without him, that's what we are. All of us. Without him, we are nothing. I pray, my friends, that you will take to heart what's being shared with you here today. The effort is not to draw attention to self, to create a following, because I have nothing for you to follow. I am not here for money. I've got everything that a person could have. Not worried about livelihood. Yahuwah and Yahushua is taking good care of me. My only concern, my friends, is I just want to please him. And I do know that he gives me the understanding, and I say me unselfishly, he gives me the understanding that the greatest of all is love. And I just want to demonstrate his love. I want to share his love. I want to share this wealth of information that he is giving me, looking for nothing in return. The only thing that I look forward to is that you hear and you allow what you hear to take place in your mind and spirit, and then you share with the other person. That's what Yahuwah wants us to do. This has been your host for today, Uzul Yahuwah, bidding you peace in the only true name of salvation, Yahushua the Savior. And may his peace be upon you. And please, don't forget to subscribe.